In this tutorial, you will see how to set up users for your training studies in Clinical 1. You will need to provision users in OHS IAMS Oracle Identity Self-Service before you can create them in Clinical 1. To get started, log into OHS IAMS Oracle Identity Self-Service and check whether the users already have an account. Do this for all the users who need access to Clinical 1. This user's account doesn't exist, so you have to create it. To select your organization, click the magnifying glass icon. You can only see your own organization name, so click Search to quickly display it. Click on the row, and then click Select. Leave the password field blank, and OHS IAMS will generate a password for the account. After you create the account, the user receives an email message with their username and a separate email with their password. These credentials will be used for them to log into OHS IAMS, where they will be able to change their password. The user won't yet have access to Clinical 1. Before you or other users can start working in Clinical 1, you need to assign one or more roles here in OHS IAMS. Go to My Access and select Request from the Actions drop-down. All users should be given the Clinical 1_production role. Assign Global Roles is a special role that only needs to be assigned to the first user in your organization who will sign into Clinical 1, enabling him to create other users. If you're the first person who will sign into Clinical 1, you need to assign this role only to yourself. Add both roles to the cart. Now you can check out and submit your request. The roles have been assigned to your user. Now you can assign roles to the other users. Go to My Access, Request Roles, and choose to request for others. Click the green plus sign to search for your users. Click the search arrow icon to display all the others in your organization. We have only one other user in this example. Click Add All and select. For all the other users, assign only the Clinical 1_production role. Now you have finished setting up the users in OHS IAMS. Next, you need to create these users in Clinical 1. Use the link provided for Clinical 1 and your OHS IAMS credentials to log into Clinical 1. You won't see any studies on the homepage until you create your user in here as well. Go to Global Settings. You can see this option because you assigned yourself the Assign Global Roles role in OHS IAMS. You need to create your own user first. Click Create Global User. Select your name from the drop-down list. Expand the Global Roles drop-down list. There are 3 roles that are applicable to you and your team. Users with the Global User Manager role will be able to access this page, create users, and assign roles. Users with the Training Administrator role will be able to assign training managers to studies and create new studies. Users with the Training Manager role will be able to manage training for the studies they are assigned, run reports, and receive automated training completion reports via email. Your user requires the Training Administrator role. Click Create to finish. You can create other users and assign roles to them in the same way. In this case, select the Training Manager role from the Global Roles list. Log out of Clinical One and back in again to make these changes to your role take effect. Because you have assigned yourself to a role, when you navigate around Clinical One, you will be presented with training videos relevant to that role. Watch these videos when they appear. If you assigned the Training Administrator role to yourself, you can assign studies to the Training Manager user you just created. Click the Training Study drop-down and select Assign Studies to Training Managers. Click the study field next to the user you want to assign and type the study name or select the study from the list. To assign a training manager to all of your organization's current or future studies, select All Studies. Now the user will be able to see the training studies you assigned to him on his homepage. You should now forward the URL that you used to access Clinical One to the users you have created.